Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while a nigga here, I'm shooting for the sky, landing on the moon, walking on the sun, taking over the game, give it back when we done. Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while a nigga here, I'm shooting for the sky, landing on the moon, walking on the sun, taking over the game, give it back when we done. I'll give it back when we done. 10,000 hands in the air, have you ever seen? Work 9 to 5 or 5 to 9, do you ever dream? They in the red, but my stalk is green. Proud like I reached the clouds, all off a beam. Dreams on lucid, films on Lucas, sound on surround, and the crowd on stupid. Who that chick Dion? That's Dion on Clueless. You circling around the money, sitting in a cubic car. Field of dreams, they said I'm too corny. Funny, I got their ears all on me. Fears all gone, and my peers all wrong. So keep your 2 cents in every phrase y'all coining. That's just common sense, all the hating, I honored it. I don't leak, I quantum it. I don't answer, I problem it. I just drop shit while they asking what a colonic is. Thinky, you know what I'm pondering? Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while a nigga here, I'm shooting for the sky, landing on the moon, walking on the sun, taking over the game, give it back when we done. Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while a nigga here, I'm shooting for the sky, landing on the moon, walking on the sun, taking over the game, give it back when we done. I'll give it back when we done.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up. Hopefully everyone is having a happy Thursday, a good relaxing Thursday. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all, man. I'm a little tired, man. I'm a little tired. Y'all know that my wife is a school principal, so they had the field day today. So she was like, just come and help out. The kids will like it if you show up for field day. And y'all, you know what I'm saying? I ain't cut to be no teacher. I am not cut to be no teacher. Them kids was out there running and ragging and throwing water and all sorts of stuff going on. I am exhausted. We had a good time out there at field day. But salute to all the teachers, all the educators, all the principals out there. Y'all are appreciated. Cause I ain't got it. I ain't got it in me. I tried, but I ain't got the patience. You know what I'm saying? So I get to be the little cool teacher that can pop up from here and there for a little bit, but then I brought my ass back home where some peace and some quietness. But salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to everybody, man. I see Sin City in the build. Speaking of Sin City, dog. I'm on my way to Vegas. I called MGM today. I got 4 reservations for Vegas coming up, man. Y'all know Vegas is my second home, so salute to Sin City Cowboy. Definitely going to be in the building for the Raiders games. Devin, what's up, man? Sleazy, what's up? Cowboys Cave, man. My guy Mike Tag in the building, bringing the hype back. What's up? Ty, what's going on? Sleazy said, I don't get any opportunities to, let's see here. What did he say? Says I don't get many opportunities to be seen, but I just want to say thank you, Tuck. Man, I thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for everything, man, for all the support, standing by me. You know, a lot of you have seen this channel started way back in 2020. You know what I'm saying? When I did this funny little video, funny little video when I was talking about the Dallas Cowboys should draft CeeDee Lamb, right? You guys been riding with me ever since, and man, it's been a journey. My dog Chris in the building, Brian in the building, L Rock in the building, Dallas Law 43 in the building, Jason in the building, FSU every day. You know I rep my nose, Jason, but we play Alabama first game, and the last time we played Alabama first game, it was bad. I remember I was out there on South Beach, had my Florida State stuff on, you know, because I know I rep my gear you know what I'm saying? I rep my squads wherever I'm at. I was out there on South Beach for a bachelor party, and I said, listen, y'all, we just got off the yacht. I am about to post up at the bar, you know, before we go out tonight and watch Florida State play Alabama. Man, I should have just went to the hotel and took a nap because Florida State, we got dog walked out the building. It was bad. I think DeAndre Francois was our quarterback at the time. It was, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully they bounce back. But suits all my nose. Might have an autographed Dak jersey on the way. That's dope, man. Salute to Dak Prescott. Field day was the jam. I love field day. You know what I'm saying? Now, field day is a little different. You know, field day is a little different nowadays because everybody is supposed to be in first place. And, you know, so you don't get medals and stuff like that, right? But back in my day, when it was field day, I was on go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted the trophies. And it's funny that even as a grown adult, the trophies mean the most to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm always after the trophy, man. Salute to Dez. When we talk in the morning, I'm always talking about chasing the trophy. But if I ain't seen no trophy, don't call me, because I, you know what I'm saying, what is the reward, man? What's up, Mark? What's up, Maya? What's up, Just Blaze? ACM Sports, my dog. JC in the building, Cowboys Net. All the hard hitters, content creators are in the building, man. So salute to everybody, man. So wanted to go live today, talk about a few things. Of course, I want to go to the Dallas Cowboys schedule. Stephen Jones had some interesting nuggets to say. A lot of people were asking about, you know, Brian Schottenheimer, so we'll talk about that. But I also, y'all, we need to sit down as a family, and we will, and talk about that offensive line. We need to talk about the offensive line. We'll get to that here shortly. But we need to talk about this offensive line. We'll get to that, man. So salute to everybody in the chat. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the content, share the content, let everybody know that we are live here on CFL Sports. My guy Darnell says, bro, I got to get out to Dallas and see a game. Which ones are you going to? So as far as the games in Dallas, salute to George Pickens, by the way. Salute to George Pickens, by the way. You know what I'm saying? But I will be attending Green Bay. So that's what, week 4, right? So to Cowboys Cave Mike Tag, we're going to do a tailgate, right? Cowboys Cave going to do a tailgate week 4, Sunday night game. So that kind of, so Green Bay. Then I think week 7, Commanders. Crazy, I know this off the top of my head. And then I will do Kansas City for sure on Thanksgiving Day. I was in the barbershop today, popping my shit. You know what I'm saying? Now granted, it's just the off season, and we can be a little confident, right? Because we ain't playing yet. But I was in the barbershop popping my shit, saying, hey, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna be sick to y'all stomach on Thanksgiving Day. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not ready on Thanksgiving Day. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? They like, Tuck, what? And they kept asking me, who did Dallas get? Why are you so confident all of a sudden? Don't worry about what we got. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about what we got. But I'm going to be popping my shit for a little bit here in Kansas City, you know, for that. Because it's like a sibling rivalry, man. So hold on, y'all. We have to roll out the red carpet for Miss Superstar Angie in the building. You know what I'm saying? Because CeeDee Lamb was shouting her out yesterday on the schedule release. So I'm honored Angie is even tuning in to our streams anymore. I am honored, Angie, that you are still here tuning to my little old stream after getting announced to the whole world in Cowboys Nation by CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons. You know what I'm saying? So we are honored. Bama Cowboys 369. All right, Bama Cowboy, I can rock with you until week 1 of college football, and then, you know what I'm saying, we might have to go our separate ways. But speaking of the live stream yesterday for the schedule release, now, honestly, the schedule release was a little typical. A little typical, right? A little typical, but I like what they did by putting the Cowboys players in their element. So if you didn't know, you didn't watch it yesterday, they had Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Smith, and Osa Odighizuwa. They were live streaming all day yesterday, doing some golfing games and piñatas and all sorts of fun stuff, right? But besides that, it was good to see our players just interact, right? And the thing that I love the most about yesterday is that the players just got to be themselves, right? It wasn't very corporate-ish. They were cussing a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it was just showing like who these players truly are, you know, and some of us, you know, get the opportunity, you know, myself, so many others kind of, you know, watching this channel right now to be around a lot of these players. And what y'all need to realize, y'all, yes, they can run 4.2s and 4.3s and have 40-inch verticals and, bench press 35 reps and all sorts of different things, right? But at the end of the day, they are human just like us, right? They like to chill. They like to have fun in their free time. They talk a little shit amongst their boys. They're just like us. And honestly, they're much younger than us. You know what I'm saying? But they're just like us. And when it's time to work, it's time to work. But when it's time to relax and play a little bit, it's time to relax and play. That is not a negative. So I hate that people think that these athletes are machines and they should be working out 24/7, eating protein and doing this. They could say the same thing about us in our jobs. You see what I'm saying? So it was good to see these Cowboys players out in their element, and you kind of see a new temperament, not just with the stream yesterday, but you saw Tyler Booker and Cooper Beebe with his shirt off at the Stars game. You saw Tyler Guyton. So you saw the Hogs out there at the Stars game watching some hockey and getting a little, and then you saw some of our core guys yesterday on the live stream. I think Wanye was out golfing. So, that continuity is what I really like amongst the players. I think that last year they had it, but there was always that kind of wall, right? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of that wall with some of the older guys, but I feel like Micah's really taking on his new role as a leader because he was kind of talking about it with Stephen Jones and the locker moving, right? So Micah kind of feels that leadership. CeeDee kind of feels that leadership. I mean, hell, even though he's still young, but Tyler Smith, he's a leader now. He is our leader of the offensive line, and then O.C. Odighizuwa, he's a made man on our defensive line. So these guys that we thought were just young bucks because it feels like they were drafted yesterday, they are now the big dogs in the locker room, and it was good to see them around each other. Yeah, Angie, we tried. You know what I'm saying? CeeDee Lamb handed Stephen Jones. Now when Stephen Jones pulled up, I was kind of like, all right, dog, let me go get a refill. Let me go upstairs, take a quick little bathroom break, you know what I'm saying? But Cowboys Nation was chanting, pay Micah, pay Micah, pay Micah, pay Micah. And he didn't acknowledge it, but I think he gets it. He kind of spoke about it today in his interview. But I think that Micah definitely deserves to pay, right? And we should really get this done because I don't want this to be an ugly situation. And I do think that Micah's going to be at camp. But as Tupac said, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. You know what I'm saying? Micah said he's going to show up to camp and he's going to do all the stuff. But don't start playing with them. You know what I'm saying? Don't start disrespecting, because then that can turn a good situation into a bad one. But like I said, the schedule release, now the hot topic button that everyone talked about yesterday, right, was our coach and Brian Schottenheimer, right? So Brian Schottenheimer, they're Shotty as they call him. I'm not sure if I originated the Shotty thing. I'm sure they better called him that before, you know what I'm saying? But I say Shotty, right? Because I'm not spelling all that and I'm not saying all that, right? But Coach Schottenheimer was there at the event yesterday. He pulled up on the guys. He had a drink in his, I got that drink in my cup. Drink. I got such a shot. He got the drink in his cup, right? So, overall, y'all, I have been saying this. I was at camp whenever the first year that Schottenheimer came to Dallas, right? When we moved on, so that's 2 years ago, right? When we moved on from Kellen and made Brian Schottenheimer the offensive coordinator, when I was out there, I just said, just from my observation, I like this guy. It feels footballish. It feels upbeat. It feels like football is supposed to feel, right? Right? It does, right? So I like Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer is a guy that if I met him, we would probably be BFFs. And knowing that he went to KU, we would probably have a good old time, right? But where my reserve comes from, and salute to Skywalker and Foots the King, right? Because they did a video today on Schottenheimer. My only pushback on Schottenheimer was, Cowboys fans, listen to me clearly, right? I know you don't want to hear this right now, but it's just me looking out. Please give it some time. It's going to take some time, right? It's going to take some time. And the one thing I don't want to happen is people just wanting to get it right now. When it comes to Schottenheimer, it starts to be chaotic, right? Give it some time. Let him gel with these players. Let him kind of do things his way. And it might not be instant success, right? It might not be this year, y'all. And we have to prepare ourselves from that. But what I do want to see is I want to see an uptick, right? I want to see not so many brain dead penalties, right? I want to see a new swagger. I want to see a new confidence. I want to see some of that. I want to see innovation in the offense. I want to see these things, but we have to understand, y'all, we need to be patient. Now, I will say this. I've been doing this 5 years now. This is year 5 for me, right? Same year. Me and CeeDee came in at the same time, right? Been doing this for 5 years, right? And typically, I play the Jane Slater water splash. Salute to Jane, the splash of reality, right? That was kind of my thing, the cold water splash of reality for Cowboys Nation, right? And I get it. And now I'm not going to shy away from that, but I will tell you guys this. I had this story with a good friend of mine. My good friend, man, he's kind of been bouncing around from job to job, right? Really hasn't found his footing in life, you know? So we're having conversations. And even though he doesn't have a stable job, and even though he's kind of struggling financially, like, he plays the lottery daily. The lottery daily and parlays daily. Now, you're probably thinking, if you're struggling financially, that is a dumb thing to do, right? And so me, J Tuck, financial guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm always just, bro, that's dumb. That's stupid. That makes no sense. You have a 0.00% chance of winning the lottery, and parlay is a sucker bet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop doing this dumb stuff, right? And so we had a conversation, and he was like, yo, Tuck, the stuff that I go through, dealing with a job I hate, you know, just trying to keep a roof over my family's house, I'm always told I'm messing up, right? The lotteries, the parlays, it just gives me something to believe in, and we all need something to believe in, whether you think that it's real or realistic or not, right? And I was like, even when he was telling me that, I was still thinking, bro, stop playing the damn lottery. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, but he was telling me, like, bro, I just want something to believe in, that if I do this, things could get better, right? So when he was having that conversation with me, though I was listening to him, I started thinking about y'all, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, hey, sorry, bro. It's just, the truth is out. You know what I'm saying? You're still my dog, but I wasn't even hearing shit you was saying, right? I was thinking about Cowboys Nation while you was talking to me, right? And I understand that Cowboys fans for the last 30 years, we haven't had much to be excited about, right? And we kind of get poo-pooed on, laughed at, mocked on television, you know, all sorts of stuff, right? Sometimes we just want something to believe in. Sometimes we just want some shit to be excited about too. You see what I'm saying? And so once I started thinking that, I was like, okay, I see people in the comments saying that Jadon Blue is Tony Dorsett and Phil Maffa is the next Emmitt Smith and Brian Schottenheimer can be Sean McVay. And of course, in my mind, it's saying, bro, have you lost your fucking mind? Like, that makes zero sense, right? But Cowboys fans deserve something to believe in, right? So if that is Brian Schottenheimer and you believe in Brian Schottenheimer, it's not my job to poo-poo on everyone's parade, right? So that's where I've been saying, hey, if y'all like it, I love it. I am following suit. So my Sky and Foots did a phenomenal job breaking down Schottenheimer and also Clayton Adams today. Check that video out. If somebody wants to post it in the comments, go ahead and post it, right? But go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Watch for yourself and form your opinion. But me, just like you said, Marky, I got week 6 is my model, right? But this is what I want to caution Cowboys fans from doing, right? I don't want to poo-poo on your parade. Do not. I like Schottenheimer, right? Would he have been number 1 on my list? No. You know what I'm saying? But I do like him as a person. You see what I'm saying? But the thing that I want to caution and warn all Cowboys fans to not do is make the same mistake that y'all made last year. Just last year. A lot of Cowboys fans made this critical mistake last year. Tuck, what is this mistake that you're talking about? All right. Cowboys fans have this thing that we do, and all fan bases do it, right? It's where we want to bury the weapons on whoever is no longer here. You see what I'm saying? So let's plant all the evidence, all the weapons, all the drugs on the person that's no longer here, and it was their fault, and things will improve. Well, Tuck, what are you talking about? Well, this time last year, right, when I was doing these live shows and videos, who was the worst POS on the planet? It was Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn hated linebackers. Dan Quinn was a horrible coach. He was a failure because he blew that lead versus Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. You know, Dan Quinn sabotaged us in the Green Bay game on purpose. Dan Quinn was too much of a player's coach. He was too buddy-buddy, and he wasn't a coach that was going to hold players accountable. So everything that happened versus Green Bay was Dan Quinn's fault. Plant all the evidence on him. Good riddance. Glad he's gone, right? What happens? We know the story. Dan Quinn goes on to Washington, gets a linebacker as soon as he gets there, right? Has a young quarterback, takes some of our older guys. Even our older coaches were trying to go to Washington, and Joe Witt, you know, Al Harris even wanted to go, right? Everybody wanted to follow suit with Dan Quinn, and he goes over there and has instant success, right? And Coach Zimmer did well, but let's keep it a buck, y'all. Some of those issues, stopping the run that Dan Quinn couldn't do, Coach Zimmer couldn't do neither. So maybe it wasn't a coaching thing. Maybe it was more of a personnel and a mindset thing, right? Now, let's fast forward to where we are today, right? Everything that transpired that went wrong, well, let's just plant that shit on Mike McCarthy, y'all. He gone. So it was Mike McCarthy's fault. Mike McCarthy's fault. Mike McCarthy's fault. Mike McCarthy's fault. Mike this, Mike this, Mike this, Mike this, Mike that, Mike this. And we all know if you just pump the brakes, we know that Mike McCarthy had tremendous pressure last year. We know Mike McCarthy was anti-Ezekiel Elliott, and Jerry Jones forced that shit on him whether he wanted to or not, right? We know, right, Mike McCarthy was a player's coach. Those guys loved, I really don't talk about in-house conversations. I have a lot with the players that kind of keep that with us, right? Those players loved Mike McCarthy. They loved Mike McCarthy. Like, I honestly wish it was the opposite, where the players didn't like Mike McCarthy and they would have quit on Mike McCarthy. If the players would have just quit on Mike McCarthy, y'all know how many Travis Hunter jerseys we would have right now? I would probably have about 4 or 5 Travis Hunter jerseys right now on me, right? They fought. They fought when we were saying, yo, chill, relax. They were fighting for Mike McCarthy. You have Jordan Lewis come out and say publicly, I would like Mike McCarthy to return, and I would like to see things, how things would be if he was able to do things his way. Dak Prescott said, hey, I would like Mike McCarthy to return, but I would like to see, how things would be if Mike could do things his way. Now, nobody ever elaborated on, what do y'all mean by that? Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Give me an example, right? We didn't go there, right? The Joneses tried to re-sign Mike McCarthy. You see what I'm saying? They tried to hire him back, right? So did Mike McCarthy have his faults? Absolutely, y'all. Absolutely, y'all. But what I'm seeing online is, everything that happened last year was Mike McCarthy's fault, and he was a reason why we were below 500. Not that we lost Dak Prescott, not that we didn't have Brandin Cooks, not that our left tackle and our offensive line was struggling, not that we didn't have any running backs, not that we couldn't stop the run, not that, Trayvon Diggs got hurt and DeRon Bland was out and then Micah Parsons got hurt. We're going to just toss all of that out for a man who's went 12-5. Did he win us a Super Bowl? Absolutely not. But when Mike McCarthy had Dak Prescott, we had some consistency. Everybody was innovation, this, motion, lies, and this and that, right? We moved on from Kellen. Mike McCarthy had Dak Prescott playing at an MVP level. So you have to give the man some credit, right? So we can't sit here and say everything was Mike's fault, and now since he's gone, it's different, right? And see, Talks with Trey says, my issue, Mike McCarthy, was his game plan when it came to Dak and Cooper Rush. Yes, but you have to understand with that, it's completely two different quarterbacks, right? When it's Dak Prescott, it's you have the keys, bro, you drive. When it's Cooper Rush, hey, it's get the ball out quick, and if it ain't there, throw it in the dirt. You see what I'm saying? But let's keep it a buck. The prior coach before Mike McCarthy, we knew when Tony Romo went down, it was over. We knew when Sean Lee was down, it was a wrap. Tyron Smith, it was a dub. Like when we had the smallest injuries under Jason Garrett, the whole season would crumple, right? But at least Mike McCarthy was able to keep things afloat, right? So I don't want you guys to make this mistake that all of our issues was just Mike McCarthy, and now that he's gone, it's miraculously fixed, and Schottenheimer is going to fix it, right? Don't make that mistake, y'all. There's going to be a learning curve when it comes to Shotty, and he's going to have to coach. There are going to be some games where I come on here live, and we're all in the chat saying, I don't know what the hell Shotty was thinking. I don't know what the hell he was. Right? People are like, oh, Mike McCarthy, all he did was call stop routes. Well, when it was Kellen Moore, it was the option routes. Option routes to stop, like, so we're picking and choosing, right? And I think that the real issues in Dallas, it wasn't culture, right? It wasn't culture. It's not that, oh, Schottenheimer pulls up at a golf course with a double cup. All of our problems are solved, y'all. Y'all know Mike McCarthy let Micah Parsons leave camp and go watch the fight in Vegas and said as long as he's back in time, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Mike McCarthy was a very relaxed players coach. That's probably why they loved him. You know what I'm saying? So this whole idea that Mike McCarthy he was just, now, was he stuck in his ways when it comes to his offense? Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But from Mike's point, this shit worked last year. Y'all loved it last year. Y'all was screaming Dak should be MVP. You see what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, Mike had faults, but what I want to warn you guys is do not make the mistake that I'm seeing a lot of people make, that it was just all Mike McCarthy's fault, and now that he's gone, everything is better. Super Bowl bound, here we come. Nope. There's going to be some things with Schottenheimer that were just like, ick. You know? I'm like, y'all hate people. I saw the same people who hated Dan Quinn for boxing and stuff with Micah and them, right? Hated Dan Quinn for doing that, saying that's being too much of a friend versus being a coach. Praised Schottenheimer yesterday for having a double cup out there on the golf course with them. I was like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, y'all, I like Schottenheimer. I think he's good for the future of the Cowboys. You're going to have to let him grow and be patient. That's my only pre-warning with this. I think the next 3-4 years, right? Then we can see, okay, here it goes, right? Because I think that Schottenheimer is going to understand these players, right? He's going to understand the younger players, right? Like, he got tattoos on his, forearms and shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to be stressed about a podcast because he understands it just where it at, right? I think he even talked about being on the show with Clarence and them. You see what I'm saying? So like he gets the new environment. He gets he's like a college coach at the NFL level, right? He's a college coach with NFL experience pretty much. And when you bring in Junior Adams, Clayton Adams, who's young, Ken Dorsey, some of those guys, it's going to be a younger feel. We might get rid of Thunderstruck. You know what I'm saying? We might get rid of Thunderstruck. We might get Thunderstruck the hell up out of there, right? And you might see CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons live streaming in the locker room after the game. You know what I'm saying? After the game. All right. So I just want to give y'all that nugget about Schottenheimer. But yeah, whatever that drink he was drinking, Tito's and whatever, they need to brand that and put that at AT&T Stadium. Now, y'all know my drink, of course. You know what I'm saying? AT&T. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They should honestly it's called the Tuckerita. You know what I'm saying? But, Schottenheimer, he got a new drink that's probably going to be branded at AT&T Stadium. Jerry loves Brandon. He is going to use the player's strengths, something that Mike McCarthy didn't do. But when people say that, bro, let me ask you this, Trey. What strengths did Mike McCarthy not utilize, bro? Like, what player strength did he not utilize on the offense? CeeDee Lamb had a record-breaking season under Mike McCarthy. Dak Prescott had an MVP caliber year. So they didn't give him much. You know what I'm saying? Like, Brandin Cooks was hurt. So you can say maybe he didn't utilize, I would guess, Jake Ferguson properly, but who's the players that he didn't use to their strength? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, there was just not, the personnel was not there. You know what I'm saying? And that was my biggest thing and concern, my red flag for last year. If you were going to put Mike McCarthy on a prove it deal, right? Prove it, then give him everything to prove it. You see what I'm saying? He didn't use Deuce or Hunter Luke-Key, two mismatches. He didn't use Deuce because he's trying to keep his job. Having 80% of routes be hooks and curls and the like. But see, that's the problem now. When it was Kellen Moore and the option routes, we didn't like that either. So what route concepts, what is this magical route concept that people are wanting our players to run, right? There was more mesh concepts, right? There was more mesh concepts last year than previous years. He didn't use a lot of motion. He didn't use Turpin to his full strength. I mean, he got him paid, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think, me personally, as a weapon, I think that Turpin is just spotty, right? You're going to use him in the backfield, which they did, right? Give him a few, but I don't think he's that type of weapon that you can fully unlock. Me personally, right? Now, in Madden, I can unlock him. But someone's like, yeah, bro, like, but here's the thing. If you saying that Mike McCarthy didn't unlock these people, Kellen didn't unlock them either. So who, let me ask you guys this. Who took a step back offensively from Kellen to Mike McCarthy? When Mike McCarthy took over the play calling from Kellen Moore, who declined? Let's start there. CeeDee Lamb went up. Dak went up. Brandin Cooks, I mean, he wasn't here under Kellen, right? But he went up. So I didn't like Kellen either, though. All right, so here we are. So all right, cool, T-Jack. I'm with you there. If you didn't like Kellen, say I didn't like Kellen or I don't like Mike. Okay, cool. All right. So scrap them both. Let's toss them both out. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's like, all right, So we just have to be cautious with that because what we do, y'all, we always bury it, right? with the players who are gone or the coaches that are gone, and we feel like, yeah, it was all their fault. They're no longer here, so it's all their fault. D-Law's always hurt, so it's D-Law's fault. You know what I'm saying? Being prepared in the playoffs, simple. But hold on. Do too much services, being prepared in the playoffs, simple, okay? Who did the Dallas Cowboys get their first playoff win since the 90s under? Mike McCarthy, all right? Going back to 2 years ago, as we geared up to Green Bay, every Cowboys fan was stoning Jay Tuck to death when I was saying, hey, this is going to be a tough game. Right? They were stoning me to death. I still got the tweets. Right? I was like, hey, bro. So the tune has changed now. Like, oh, we wasn't prepared in the playoffs because we lost the game. But leading up to that, it was the Jimmy curse has been removed. The Cowboys don't lose at home. Dak is playing at an MVP level. We can hear the here he goes at home. We got home field. It was all of that, right? So like I said, is Mike McCarthy an angel? Absolutely not. But I'm not going to sit here and act like all of our issues are gone now, that Mike McCarthy is gone, and now it's Brian Schottenheimer. There's still a lot of shit in-house that still remains, and I think it comes to personnel. So Mike McCarthy ran all those stop routes because he didn't trust the pass blocking. I mean, there was a lot of instances with it. He didn't trust the pass blocking. You know, he wasn't getting the running back that he really wanted out there. You know what I'm saying? So it was a huge cluster of things. Hopefully, what my biggest hope is when it comes to Brian Schottenheimer, you ought to be fully transparent, is now that it's Brian Schottenheimer, now that it's Jerry's guy, right? It's they're going to be a little bit more lenient. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be a little bit more lenient. We got a playoff win in 2014. That wasn't on the road. It was not on the road. But if Mike McCarthy didn't trust the pass blocking, then you have to question the position coaches. I see that is what I will fault Mike McCarthy on, right? I will fault Mike McCarthy on hooking up his homeboys. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I will. You know what I'm saying? Mike McCarthy's going to put his homeboys on. If you were Mike McCarthy homeboy, you was going to get a job. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I'll say that, right? Mike was asked to do more with less. I don't blame him. He ran out of time. Yep, Brian. Yeah, he tried. I mean, shit, he tried. I mean, yeah, that's exactly it, right? It's like, bro, like, you know, you say, hey, Rico's my running back, and Jerry Jones is like, no, Zeke is, and you're going back and forth. Shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Mike McCarthy did have stubbornness. And I feel like there was some ego in where it's just like, you know what? Because Mike McCarthy isn't, you know, honestly, I've met Mike a few times. I personally like Mike, you know what I'm saying? Because Mike is very straight to the point. He's PA, you know what I'm saying? Straight shooter. This is what it is. He kind of has like a pompous little assholeness about him, you know what I'm saying? But he's just a football guy, right? And so there probably was that little nudge to Steven and Jerry Jones. Like I can see Mike McCarthy telling Jerry, what the hell do you know about football? You see what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like that Jimmy Johnson-ish type, you know what I'm saying? Because he knows his stuff, right? Where I think that Brian Schottenheimer is going to be able to massage it a little bit, where Jerry thinks that he has the controller, but it might not be plugged in. I hope. Fresh start for everybody. Yep. I think that is what is refreshing, right, Trey? Is that it's just, all right, wipe the slate clean, it's a fresh start. But what we do have to understand, it's the honeymoon phase, y'all. It's the honeymoon phase, right? We love everybody. You know what I'm saying? You ever get a new girlfriend or a new man, when y'all first start dating, they can do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're going out to eat and, you know, and, you know, when you go out to eat, she says, no, babe, I got it. And, you know, you're just all cute, cuddly, posting pictures on Facebook and stuff. But then when things really start to hit the fan, that is when you'll be tested. You know what I'm saying? That is when you'll be tested to see is your relationship really strong when your ex starts calling you back, or, you know what I'm saying? Or she asks to go through your phone, right? We are still in the honeymoon phase when it comes to Brian Schottenheimer. We'll see what happens when someone asks can I see your phone? You know, and then so, all right, fellas, y'all know what that means. All right, cool. All right, but believe in Brian Schottenheimer. All right, so like I said, y'all, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like the content, share the content. Now I want to go over to the Dallas Cowboys 2025 schedule, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into some of these games. Now, keep it a buck. So let's keep it a buck, all right? Let's just keep it a buck. When people say, yo, Tuck, what? Yo, Tuck, yo, Tuck, talk to me, dog. What's your schedule predictions? Y'all not setting me up for that shit this summer. No, sir. Because that is like your wife asking, does this dress make me look fat? You better say, no, babe, you look gorgeous. All my content creators out there, if someone asks you, what is your predictions for the Cowboys season as you go through the schedule, say 17-0. Till proven otherwise. 17-0. So as we go through the schedule, I got the Dallas Cowboys 17-0. Till proven otherwise. Yes, babe, you look gorgeous in that freaking dress. Sexy. Beautiful. Stunning. Love the way it fits on you. Yeah. That's where I'm at with it. That is where I'm at with it when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. So don't ask me nothing. I saw my dog Ben went on there on Twitter today and tried to keep it real when it came to the schedule. They lit his ass up. They lit my dog Ben's ass up. Pause if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Pause if you want to. But he got lit up. He's getting cooked. He got cooked. Why you being smart? Hey, I've been doing this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I know, because if I say I got the Cowboys winning 13, then that's going to be too low. Or I'm going to be a homer. Or if I say I got us winning 6, then I'm being negative. And if I say, I got the Dallas Cowboys winning 15 or 16, like, oh, Tuck's drinking the Kool-Aid. I can do no right. You know what I'm saying? I can do no right. You know what I'm saying? You will not win doing no schedule prediction at all. At all. You stand zero chance. You know what I'm saying? So it's best to just, keep it moving and mind your business. All right, so let's go ahead and get to this. Let me do this real quick. Let me go ahead and get this cropped out of here right now. And then, so boom. All right, so then there is the Dallas Cowboys schedule out. Actually, let me make my camera a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like using this software. I can edit, you know what I'm saying, and do stuff on the fly, on the Marty McFly. I can do things on the Marty McFly over here. All right. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. I've been doing this enough now. I don't get disgruntled when I'm trying to make things work on the fly. All right. Boom. Bigger. You know what I'm saying? 4K quality. We got to be realistic. Let's see here. Oh, actually, let me make sure I got y'all. Right. Got to see what the chat's talking about. Hold on. We're going to get right. Let me see. Where's the chat? Chat. The chat. Ticker. All right, let me do that here. And then I'm going to see what the chat's talking about. Hold on. All right, bang. Yeah, got to see what the chat's talking about. All right, there we go. All right, now it's cooked. All right, boom. Dallas Cowboys 2025 schedule. Wow. And overall, y'all, I like it, right? I like the schedule. I saw some people kind of talking online like, oh, it's a tough schedule, and I'm not sure how it's going to happen, and this and that, and this and that. You can't dodge no smoke. Either you're about it or you're not. You know what I'm saying? Either you are a contender or you're not. You know what I'm saying? And I think that what happens is sometimes people want to kind of manipulate things, you know what I'm saying? Kind of manipulate things to make it work in your favor. But that's how you run into the situation that we ran into when we faced Green Bay, right? That is how you get that false sense of accomplishment that I was trying to pre-warn people that season, right? And you guys know, newsflash, I still am a season ticket holder because I got stuck with the tickets any damn way. But thank you, George Pickens. Thank you, George Pickens, because as soon as I posted those tickets, they sold like hotcakes. They sold like hotcakes, and I made all my money back, and now we're in the profit zone. I'm partying off a profit just like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if it was a Cowboys fan or an Eagles fan or whoever, but thank you, because I put those things sky high, and it was just like, bloop. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in the green right now, so I ain't really tripping too much about it, all right? But when it comes to the schedule, it doesn't let us run into that situation that we face when we got blindsided by Green Bay. Whether you think that Dan Quinn sabotaged or Mike McCarthy didn't have them ready, right? What do I mean by that? You guys knew I was at every game. I knew how I was reacting on game day. I was not concerned about anything that season at the home games. You know what I'm saying? I was out drinking, suit to my sis Jen. We was out hanging out. We was hanging out the Dez tailgate, doing whatever. Why? Because we had Mac Jones coming to Dallas. Oh, Tuck was at Lot 10. We were drinking Ciroc and we was partying, doing all sorts of stuff, having a blast, just laughing and giggling, taking photos. Why? Because I had Zach Wilson coming to Dallas. Oh, we was outside on Thanksgiving Day and why? Because I had Daniel Jones coming to Dallas. I had Taylor Heineke and Sam Howell coming to Dallas. And I didn't even get Jalen Hurts. I got Gardner Minshew coming to Dallas, right? So what we was able to do is hide a little bit, right? We was able to hide, right? But then when we played Buffalo, it ain't work out, right? When we played the Dolphins, it ain't look right. You know what I'm saying? When we started playing those types of teams, it just ain't look right. You see what I'm saying? So we were able to kind of hide. Detroit, when we barely got away with it because they wanted to be greedy and go for two, right? You know, we beat the Rams that year, but San Fran dog walked us again, you know? So we were kind of able to hide a little bit behind our schedule. We can't do it this year. We can't do it this year. Either you're in or you're out. Either you're legit or you're not, right? Because week one, you already know, Philly coming to kill, opening game. They want to embarrass us. They gonna be shooting off fireworks and Meek Mill performances and everything. All right, cool. All right. Giants, they got something to prove, and we're only 1.5 point favorites over them at home. They don't know who their quarterback is going to be, but they got Abdul Carter. They got a defense. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to be able to peel their ears back. Caleb Williams, even though he might not even want to be a Chicago Bear, right? Good team. Ben Johnson, they got talent. Luther Burden, all right? And they were a good team last year, right? They're kind of missing a few pieces last year. Then Green Bay, we got to get that lick back, right? So if you look just at those first 4 games, there's not a we can relax a little bit and get on a run. You know what I'm saying? There's not that. It's, oh shit. Wait. Oh, wait. Oh. We're going to have to fight, right? We're going to have to fight. And I think it was Zach Woolchuck that posted this on Twitter, I believe, or it might have been Bobby Belt. Somebody, I apologize if I get it wrong, right? We, Cowboys Nation, are only favored in one of these games, Vegas-wise. We are only favored Vegas-wise in one of these games. Which is crazy, right? Just one. And that is Giants week 2. We are 1.5 point favorites over the Giants. Every other game, from Philly to Chicago to Green Bay to even the Jets to the Carolina Panthers, we are considered the underdog. And I love it. And I love it, y'all. I love it. I love it. I love it. I really, really, really love it that the Dallas Cowboys can now embrace the underdog role, right? So I was saying this online. Yeah. One game, and that's week 2 versus the Giants. That's the only game that we're favored to win in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? The over and under for the Dallas Cowboys win total is 8 games. That's how low Vegas thinks about the Cowboys. It's 7.5. Still, I checked this morning. It's still 7.5 wins. You can make money right now. Like I said, I ain't telling y'all what to do with your paper. But if you want to kind of make a little cash and you believe in the Cowboys, 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. That's the over total for the Dallas Cowboys to win. So even the Cowboys going to win 8 games. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. All right. What's up, sis? What's going on, sis? What's up with you? So yeah, just one game, y'all. That's the only game as of right now. Oops, I'm really doing that. So only one game as of right now that the Dallas Cowboys are currently favored in. So that lets you know what Vegas thinks of us, what the media thinks of us, what the NFL thinks of us, right? Cherish it. Cherish it. Own it. Like, this is a situation that we never get to be in, y'all. Dallas Law. So that's getting to my next point, right? If Trayvon, and I haven't heard much about this, right? Trayvon should be mid-season, possibly, maybe pup. So what, 4 games, possibly? 4 to 6? Overshown, they said he pushed that he could be back by Thanksgiving. Though I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say he should, but you know what I'm saying? To each his own, right? We need a corner that's going to be day 1 ready. We need a corner that is day 1 ready. Day 1 ready. So, you need to call your old pal and Stephon Gilmore and say, can you give me 4 games, bro? Can you give me 4? Can you give me 4? Can you give me 4? Right? We got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Can you give me 4, maybe? 5? A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Well, Slim, Slim, I ain't even going to mention that. I would lose my mind. I would kiss Stephen Jones on his damn cheek if he did that. If Stephen Jones went out there and got me George Pickens and turned around and traded for Jalen Ramsey, I'd kiss that man on the cheek. No diddy. You know what I'm saying? No diddy. I would kiss Stephen Jones on the goddamn cheek if he went and got me Jalen Ramsey. But you better go get somebody. You better get somebody, because you got A.J. Brown and Smitty. You got Malik Neighbors, right? You got Roman Dunze, Luther Burden. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, he might. You know what I'm saying? He might. I don't give a damn. He give me Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? No. Facial cheeks, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going way too Diddy. That's way too Diddy party for me, T Center. That's way too Diddy party. You know what I'm saying? No. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I'm saying, the first floor of the Diddy party cheek. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't going to the secret rooms. That's secret room cheeks you talking about. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? This is level 1. You know what I'm saying? On the cheek. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all ain't taking me to the back room to the Diddy party, man. But yeah, Gilmore, somebody, because to bank on Siobhan Revel, right? I know he was on a treadmill. I love it, right? Love the player. Had a first round grade on him. Don't force this kid back off an ACL injury and then toss him out there versus A.J. Brown. And don't force this kid out there on an ACL recovery and toss him out there versus Malik Neighbors. You know what I'm saying? So here is my concern, right? Salute to Boss, salute to Lou, salute to so many other great Cowboys content creators. Y'all are spoiled as hell to get some great Cowboys content. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just tooting the horn of the team because I'm a part of it. But y'all get some damn good content, right? Other teams do not get this, right? I know that their hashtag is winter is coming, right? I want to tweak it. Winter's here, y'all. Winter is here. We go to Philly week 1 on the road. It is here. You better go get your coats now, right? And here's the thing. Even if you want to put an emphasis on stopping the run, right now, there is nothing stopping any of these teams from airing you the hell out. If you are lucky enough to sell out and stop the run, what is stopping them from airing you the hell out? We got to go get a one tech now, a real one, not a guy, right? Not a big body guy. You know, like, oh, you know, back in 2019 he was a first round pick. You know. No. You need a guy at one tech. You need a guy at corner. I will be the sacrificial lamb and say, I'll roll with Javonte and Jadon and Deuce and Hunter and Miles Sanders. I will sacrifice the running back position, but you need a one tech right now, ASAP, and you need a corner right now. Right now. Because going into this schedule that you're not even really adapted for right now, right? With no corners and no interior defensive line, it's I don't want to say the S word, but it's just not smart, right? It is just not smart. And here's the caveat. We like Deron Bland walking pick sixes, but after the foot injury, he didn't look the same. So you are relying on, is Deron Bland really that guy? Or is he just a good guy, right? I think he's a damn good player, right? And then Kyer Elam, Siobhan Revel, Kalen Carson, No, not with DJ Moore, Roman Dunze, Colston Loveland, and Luther Burden. Matthew Golden, Ted McMillan, Marvin Harrison, Xavier Worthy, Rasheed Rice, Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, Lab McConkey, Quentin Johnson, Trey Harris. You got to go get some corners. Real ones. Real ones. Real ones. You need a real corner. If you got to overpay, you got to overpay. You need to go get a defensive tackle one tech, but you also need a real corner. If you want to leave the offense alone, fine, right? I would love Nick Chubb, right? You know, we'll talk about Breece Hall in a second. I would love to trade for Breece Hall too now, right? Because I'm like, oh, people are like, Tuck, you want to trade for Breece Hall? Yeah, now, after the draft. Before the draft, I was like, hell no, I can just draft me a Breece Hall and be good with it. Now, but there is a red blinking light, y'all, at one tech and corner. Gilly me. Gilly. I know you did not just mention Quentin Johnson. Play with Quentin if you want to. He had 800 yards and 8 touchdowns last year. He had more touchdowns than CeeDee Lamb did last year. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we can't be acting brand new about no Quentin Johnson when we just got a wide receiver 2 about a week ago. You know what I'm saying? We acting real brand new right now, but if we would have traded for Quentin Johnson, we would have took him about a week ago. You know what I'm saying? We would have been excited to have him about a week ago. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I see Alexander, right? Gill, right? If you go get Gill, you can let Gill come in 4 to 5 weeks and hold off till Revel is really revved up, till Trayvon is really revved up, right? And then, okay, maybe you can make the switch. But there's a red blinking light when it comes to the cornerback position, so I would definitely go with the one tech. I know people are talking about DJ Reader. You know, there's some other names out there. I saw Vita Vea. That's going to cost you, dog. But you got to get creative, you know. Now, one-handed bandit, you mentioned my dog, Asante Samuel. So, like I was telling people, I was hearing stuff about this, but I thought it was a shoulder. Come to find out, it was a neck surgery. So that is why Asante Samuel was still on the market, because he had a neck surgery. So anytime you talk about football and neck, you know, it's probably just a pause, right? So I'm not even sure he would be ready week 1, so that probably wouldn't do us much good. So, you know, it's really going to be a situation where as we get to camp, I'm not going to play the let's just hope a guy takes a leap. Not with that schedule. That schedule is too violent. You know what I'm saying? That schedule is way too violent for you to be hoping that Kalen Carson can take a leap. Right? Nah. You know? And I really do not want to rush these kids back from injury, because we've seen it happen time after time where you rush them back from injury. They don't look as they should look. And of course, Cowboys Nation, it's you suck, or Siobhan Revel was a bust and we shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did that. Shouldn't have did that. Oh, I know why we got this kid. Right? Let them get fully healthy, have their confidence, right? And especially at corner, because you're not just running straight forward. Like, you're cutting, you're planting, you're jumping, you're doing all sorts of stuff. So you got to make sure that knee is 1,000%. When you play other positions, you can kind of get away with it, right? But corner, you're cutting, planting, jumping, twisting, twirling, tangling, all sorts of stuff. You got to get that knee right, and you have to be able to trust it wholeheartedly for you to have the confidence on it. So, yeah, 1,000%, y'all. We need to go get a corner. And we need to go get a one tech. That would be my fixes right now. Those are my 2 biggest red blinking lights when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys is, yo, all right, we got to do something. We got to do something when it comes to cornerback and also one tech. Now, before I let y'all go, right, also another position I'm kind of about. Love Tyler Smith. Cooper Beebe, we got him, y'all. Love him. I think Tyler Booker is going to be a great value pick for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think Terrence Steele is solid. But I will tell you guys this, right? It's just, we keep it real, right? I'm not going to splash a lot of cold water on y'all, right? But 2 days ago, I was cutting up a Tyler Guyton film session, and I personally decided to scrap it because it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. I was like, I'm not. I was like, Tuck, I mean, you can. But I was like, I don't want to do this to this kid, right? Nah, right? But left tackle, y'all, is a concern. And he has to take a massive, massive leap, y'all. It was bad. It was really bad. And I guess, because I never, watching the games and stuff, like, I'm really not focusing on Tyler Guyton, left tackle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really watching the offensive line like that unless I'm studying the offensive line. But I was like, let me just sit back and watch Tyler Guyton, and let's do a film session of what he can work on. And I watched like 4 games. And I was just like, shit. This is why Mike McCarthy benched him. He was lost. He wasn't picking up stunts. He was wandering around. Hand placements was off. His kicks was off. Didn't have leverage. Wasn't getting much push. Was kind of wandering around in space, walking a little bit. And I was just like, oh, shit. Like, ooh. I was like, nah, Tuck, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I never want to be the person that just bags on people, right? And of course, he did have some good plays, but there was a lot of plays, y'all. Well, chat room, I see no response. What's up, sis? What was your question? I think we got a super chat too. Let me get to the super chat. Did I miss a super chat? What was your question, sis? I may have missed it. Hold on. Do we have a super chat? I thought I saw one come in. My apologies, y'all. It's somewhere. Oh yeah. All right. So super chat. Where I just saw it. Hold on. I just literally just saw the super chat. Oh no. My bad if I missed the super chat. I know I saw it come in because I saw it pop up on the screen. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Lord Nova, push the super chat. It said 5-2 Tuck, losses to Denver and the Chargers. If you like it, I love it, dog. If you like it, I love it. Can Guyton play guard? Don't want him to be the reason Dak goes down. That is my thing, one-handed bandit, right? That is my concern. That's the most important position, right? That is your older quarterback who is coming off a torn hamstring off the bone, returning back from injury. The one thing I need to make sure I can sleep easy at night is the left tackle position. I would be okay if it was the right side, right? So here is what me putting my cowboy wizardry hat on, what I would do personally, if it was me, Tyler Smith, left tackle. Tyler Booker, left guard. Cooper Beebe, center. Brock Hoffman, right guard. Terrence Steele, right tackle. Tyler Guyton, Austin Richards, get in where you fit in, right? And Brian Schottenheimer said best five. Now, Shotty has been capping a little bit. But I think when he says this, he means it. Because there is no way you can have Dak Prescott go out there, not with these killers, not with Jordan Davis and Nolan and Nolan Smith and freaking Jahad Campbell and Jalen Carter, right? You can't go out there with Abdul Carter, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't got no left tackle. You would get Dak's head knocked off. And I keep telling people this. Everyone's like, oh, Tyler Booker and Jalen Carter. If I'm Vic Fangio, I ain't messing with Tyler Booker. We're going to put you on this Tyler Guyton kid. Put you on this Tyler Guyton kid. Jalen Carter can play edge. Go play over there. Cause fits. Right? So it's going to be a situation, y'all, where Tyler Guyton, for me personally, and I'm still undecided if I'm going to Oxnard or not, right? But the number one person I have circled from camp to preseason all the way to week 1 is our left tackle and Tyler Guyton. And I get it. He's young. I get it. He needs a chance to grow, but not at the left tackle position, y'all. We can't baby him. It's eat or get ate. Right? We need Tyler Guyton to take a massive leap, y'all. To be fully transparent, Tyler Guyton needs to take a bigger leap than Mozzie needs to take. I don't know. Y'all let me know. If y'all want me to put the film out, I'll do it. But it was just like, I don't know. And in all fairness to the kid, right? He was playing a position that he never played ever in his life, right? So I want to kind of give him that. But, I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Could they move him to right possibly? I don't think that would be the case. I think Terrence is our right tackle. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, hey, it's either that you got to bring in a guy, he needs to take a massive leap, or you're going to have to put Tyler Smith out there to left tackle. And I know, right? I know, Stephen Jones, what you're thinking. I know, Stephen Jones, what you're thinking, bro. You ain't got to tell me, Stephen Jones. I know what you're thinking, dog. Well, if we move Tyler Smith to left tackle, he's in a contract year. You're going to have to pay him left tackle money. Well, yep, you are. Yeah, you might have to pay Tyler Smith left tackle money. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, he did play the position. He played the position well, right? So he just signed with Athletes First. You might have to pay Tyler Smith some left tackle moolah. But that's an insurance policy for not getting your quarterback, who you just paid as well, head knocked off. And yeah, Trey, so we're going to do probably next week, where we're going to go into every new coach and their philosophy, their coaching tree, their ideology, all that stuff. And we are going to start with the offensive line coach out of Kansas State in Coach Riley. So hopefully he can get coached up, because I would be okay if this is our offensive line and it's performing well. This is kind of what I would probably go with if it works, right? But if there is any signs that he still just is not getting it, y'all, we can't have a question mark with our left tackle, not with the schedule. Tuck, do you think Richards can be at least average? I think Austin Richards is decent. I think if you look at the film between the two, Austin Richards showed better film opportunity than Tyler Guyton did. But the question is, at that premium position, you can't have average. You know, if there's any other position you have average, it can't be that one. Not with the right-handed quarterback. You see what I'm saying? Like, I would prefer an average as this, okay, young guy, right tackle, right? But not at the left tackle. HCN Sports, when you do offensive scheme talk, let me know. I want in. Let's get it, bro. You already know how we do in the summer. Yeah, we'll definitely tap in. We'll get into the scheme and we'll get into the nuances of the coaching staffs and everything like that. Yeah, we'll definitely cook that way up. And another thing is Cheetah, if Tyler Guyton does not shoot that something this season that he can play in Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, things get rid of him. I don't think they'll get rid of him because he's a first-round pick, but they will start to maybe inquire, right? So next year we go in O-line round 1 again. I mean, I don't know. We will look, Chris. We will look at every offensive lineman in the draft for the next 5 years named Tyler. Like, we will scout them in depth. We ain't doing no running backs, no wide receivers next year. I'm just going to X them off the list. Everybody named Tyler who's played tackle before or offensive line, we just going to scout them, and it's going to do 95% of the job for us. But like I said, y'all, it's going to be extremely, extremely, extremely important that Tyler Guyton takes a massive leap when it comes to this offseason, y'all. And, I think that the concerning thing, right, a lot of people kind of talked about is like, okay, when Duke kind of spoke about it, like, that was kind of concerning. But, Team Tyler. I think that was kind of concerning to a lot of people. I'm not sure what that was about. Offense is going to be fine under Coach Adams. We hope, sis. Just extend Richards. I don't think they're going to extend him, but I think he's going to get the opportunity. Right? I think he's going to get the opportunity. Do you see Does tweeted that he just asked? Do you see the see Dez tweet that he's texting Jerry and Stephen Jones about Nick Chubb. Dez is GM in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Dez is GM in this thing. And so hopefully that's the case, because I would mind Nick Chubb. I would love Nick Chubb. I mean, it's a perfect fit when it comes to Nick Chubb because Brian Schottenheimer coached Nick Chubb at the University of Georgia. So, I mean, it's really a simple phone call. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to. But I think that they feel like they're good at running back, right? With Jadon Blue, Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Deuce Vaughn, Hunter Luepke, right? I feel like they're good, right? And see, my pushback was that I don't want to feel good. Let's feel great. Let's feel great. Why is good okay? You know what I'm saying? Why not just go for the gusto? What would it hurt to bring Nick Chubb in, bring him in, and let everybody can compete? If Javonte Williams outperforms Nick Chubb, we'll say it. Hey, Javonte needs more carries. For me about Nick Chubb is that he is injury prone. We like injury prone players though in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? We like ACLs, we like PCLs, BBLs. You know what I'm saying? We'll take them all, right? So we can't get picky when it comes to the injuries now all of a sudden, not with a player of the quality of Nick Chubb. You bring him in, let him give him a go, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. have you seen Guyton recently? He looked smaller than last year, like a tight end. Well, he did play tight end at TCU. But I think people are talking about the hockey pitcher. I think it was angles, right? Because one pitcher, he looked decent, but one, he looked small. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was just kind of angles from the hockey stuff. So I haven't seen, of course, I'm in Kansas City, so I haven't seen him. But speaking of size, Micah, if you watch the live stream, that's linebacker frame, y'all. That's linebacker frame. If you watch Micah on that live stream, that's linebacker frame. That's not hand of dirt, edge rusher for 40 snaps frame anymore. Micah's leaned out. You can tell by his neck size. Pause if you want to. Yeah, that's a hell of a pause. Yeah, I can pause that shit. But you can tell, like, he's leaned out. So there's probably conversations that he's going to get back to that chess piece role that I desperately wanted him at even last year. Yeah, you're damn right, J Tuck. That is, I say if he don't produce and show up, that he play did Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, get him off the field and trade him. Yep. And you can't baby these players, right? Look at Kansas City. They drafted Kingsley Samatea last year. Kingsley wasn't working out. Move on. They got whooped in the Super Bowl. What did the Chiefs do with their first pick? Simmons. Well, what's going to happen with Kingsley? I don't know, and I do not care. Andy Reid says, I do not know, and I do not care. He's going to have to figure it out, man. My dog Boss in the building, Nick Chubb of Dallas. So, Boss, this is what I was saying. I love Nick Chubb. I love the idea. I see my dog Dez is tweeting about it, bringing Nick Chubb to Dallas. I agree. I would love him. But as you and so many others have been saying, winter's coming. Boss, I believe winter is already here. I believe winter is already here, and you need to go get a defensive tackle or one tech, and you need to go get a corner. You need to go get a corner, Boss. So if I got to sacrifice Nick Chubb for defensive tackle in a corner, then I'll go with that. But as of right now, my number one priority is defensive tackle and cornerback. Because I don't want to rush Siobhan out there, y'all. And I don't want to rush Diggs out there, y'all, if their knee is not ready. And we have killer after killer after killer after killer with those wide receiver cores. So if I got to sacrifice Nick Chubb, both of them, all three of them things, you know what I'm saying? So since we shopping, Boss, then go get me a left tackle too, because I need a left tackle who's gonna give me a little confidence. Because Boss, what I was saying is I was gonna cut up some Tyler Guyton film. He gotta take a leap. He gotta take a leap, y'all. He gotta take a leap. He gotta take a leap, y'all. He gotta take a leap. A massive one. A massive one. So I'm not sure who he is working with this offseason if he's not with Duke anymore. I mean, I don't follow him like that. But whoever it is, he got to go up. He has to go up because we cannot go out there with a massive question mark at the left tackle position. Chubb is $3.5 million with the $1 million cap hit and $1 million cap hit. He come with the deal easily. And like I said, Shotty coached him in Georgia. It's easy money. It's a simple phone call. It's a simple phone call. I think, Boss. You know what I'm saying? I think Shaq was killing it under Foos. Who are you talking about? Shaq Leonard. Oh yeah, Shaq Leonard. Okay, yeah. So I think that's how they're probably going to use him. Sam Williams out there looking big too. Yeah, I hope Osa, you know what I'm saying? So you can tell because they had the dry fits on. Like now, CeeDee Lamb, he was dressed for the occasion, right? Of course, you know what I'm saying. But the other Cowboys players had the dry fits on. And thing about fellas, when you put on dry fits like these, you can't hide shit. A dry fit, there is nothing that will tell you the truth more about yourself than a dry fit shirt. It'll tell you every little fat wrinkle. It will tell you every little detail that's wrong with you when you put on a dry fit shirt. You know what I'm saying? So dry fits don't lie. And yesterday when they were walking around, you could see muscles, back muscles bulging out of Osa's dry fits. So, as my dog Voch say, all season peanut butter for Osa. So I'm excited for Osa. And like I said, these guys are made men now. You got to pay the bag, bro. It's not just little old Osa. It's not just Guyton Flagenstein, man. I mean, I don't know, y'all. We might go to the film, but it was bad. Thank you to my man and word Truth B. No need to get greedy with the Joneses. They went and got Javonte and Miles, 2 vets already, plus rookies we haven't seen yet. So yeah, if I gotta sacrifice bringing in Nick Chubb for the sake of getting me a corner and defensive tackle, I'm with it, right? But here's the thing. We shouldn't have to ask, but hopefully the Cowboys will go in there and try to fill the void. People in the chat was asking Osa to show his thigh. Oh, he wild. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. Guyton needs to get his weight up too. I'm not know what is like. I haven't seen, because I saw a Guyton in a hockey jersey, right? But it's just like there is some things when it comes to Tyler Guyton, y'all, that needs to be fixed. Let me see if I can get access to it. Because my film has been acting up a little bit, so I gotta reboot it. But we'll get to the film. We'll do another live show and we'll go to the film. I don't think I want to do it independently. We'll get to the live show. We'll do a film session on Tyler Guyton. We'll just let it play raw, and so y'all can see what I was looking at, and we'll just go through it together as a family, y'all. But like I said, he definitely has some work to do this all season, so hopefully that's the case. Like I said, do I want to give him some mercy because it's his first time playing the position ever in life? Yes, but Jalen Carter's not going to care about that. Abdul Carter's not going to care about that. Like, oh, well, you know, Abdul, it's only his second year playing the position. Like, they're not going to care about that shit. Like, it's going to be on go. And you either have to be ready or you not. And if you are not ready, I cannot have you out there playing left tackle. I can't. So, little grace, but not a lot, man. So, yo, I appreciate you all for tuning in as usual. Having fun. We're going to go live a lot more. Got a lot more free time in my schedule. So I've been vibing a little bit. We got 225 people watching right now. So if you haven't already, do us a huge favor. Hit that like, share the content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. CFO gang, we are growing. We are going tremendously. It's going to be a fun football season. Like I said, I'm going to be on the road, going to Vegas for damn sure. So if you're going to Vegas for the Cowboys game, CFO gang, let me know. I'm thinking about throwing a party, right? And not like a little meet and greet at a local bar for CFO gang. So if you never been with Tuck, and it's not a Diddy party, it's a Tuck party. Our party a little bit different from Diddy, right? So DMV, my dog DMV will tell you, some other people will tell you, right? When I mean a party, it's not like, oh, everyone has come to the bar and kind of have a few drinks and play We Dem Boys on the loudspeaker and shit like that. I'm talking about we going to the club for real. So we might hit Dre's or something off, roped out section, bottle service, CFO gang on the marquee, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's my type of party. You know what I'm saying? That's how we gonna do it if you pull up. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be, oh, you know, we met Tuck at a local bar in Vegas and we hung out and had some drinks. Hell nah. We setting this shit off. We letting Raiders fans know that CFO gang is in the building and we flying bottles after bottles after bottles all night, and they better have sparklers in them. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I wanted it in September for everyone who went to the draft, right? There's a few content. No baby oil. No baby oil. You know what I'm saying? Now, typically I do drink Ciroc, but you know what I'm saying? But I was hoping it was going to be week 4 in September because during the draft in Vegas, I had a pool party where all the content creators came up to my cabana and we had, you know what I'm saying, all sorts of stuff, man. So I wanted to have like a CFO pool party. But yeah, not in November. You know, if you're like, oh, we can still do it. I'm not doing no pool party in November. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell nah. Tuck the plug type vibe. You know what I'm saying? We gotta turn up. When in Vegas, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If I'm DJ, now I ain't gonna DJ. I'm not working. I'm just gonna vibe, man. You don't want to do nothing, Tuck. Hey, bro. Hey, dog. Y'all know me, dog. Y'all know me. Hold on. You think I'm playing, bro? No. You think I'm playing? Y'all think I'm playing? Hold on. All right. So, let's see. Where is this? Boom. Vegas, right? Hold on, let me see. Get that focus in. Boom. Vegas, right? Swipe again. That's August. Boom. Get the focus. September. Boom. You know what I'm saying? November. MGM already caught me out, dog. MGM has already caught me out. All I got to do is make a simple phone call and say, I'm coming. And MGM says, all right, Tuck, just let us know. Boom. Right? So I'm going to the Gervonta Davis fight and Frank Roach part 2 in August. Hopefully Crawford and Canelo should be in Vegas in September. I'm going to circle back around then. And then in November, I'm going to circle back around for the Cowboys at the Raiders game. Y'all know me. I stay confirmed. I stay confirmed at the MGM Grand. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all, come on, dog. It's me, bro. It's me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know, you know what I'm saying? Vegas pool party in Ciroc. Hey, man. I'm just saying, Ciroc is my drink. You know what I'm saying? This is my drink. It's finna be $250 to get in the club that weekend. You gotta know people that know people that know people. I know people, man. Wait till my dog DMV. DMV has hit Vegas with me twice now. And he's like, damn, Tuck. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? We make things happen. You know what I'm saying? To say the least. You know what I'm saying? So, especially fight weekend goes down. But first, my wife doesn't know because we're going for her birthday in August. But it just happened to be the same week as the Gervonta Davis fight. So my wife has never been to a fight, you know what I'm saying? Because she's like, you know, my wife is completely opposite of me. So she watches boxing and UFC and she's like, oh, the blood and this, that. I'm like, nah, you got to go to a fight with me. You got to just sit and feel the action ringside, a fight night, Tank Davis, you know what I'm saying? The sweat dripping, the money everywhere. Like, I just, you know what I'm saying? I love it. Definitely do Flamingo Go Party in Aria. Salute to Aria. Love Aria. I don't know about no Flamingo Go Party, dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about no Flamingo Go Party, Fresh. What you trying to set me up for, dog? What are you trying to set me up for? For no Flamingo Go Party. Cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's just Vegas. Next month, here in a few weeks, y'all gonna see me live streaming from Cabo. I'm taking my wife to Cabo in the summer. You know what I'm saying? So it's outside season, y'all. It's outside season, y'all. But we're still gonna work on this channel. So we got some more film sessions coming up, live shows, got some special guests lined up. Cover 3 is in the work as well. Salute to my dog Rome. I know he had a good friend who passed away, so he's doing some funeral stuff. That's why we didn't do cover 3 today, but next week we should be back for cover 3. Yeah, Aria is normally where I stay. I love Aria, but I like MGM, especially for fight stuff, because typically that's where like the faces off are at, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like easier access. Plus MGM, they always just comp me there because I stay there so much. So yeah, so to MGM. Might as well get the sponsorship back. So I see they moved Canelo and Crawford to Saturday and taking a move into a bigger venue. Yeah, man. So that's what I'm kind of concerned about because it's supposed to have been Vegas in September, but if they moved it to Saturday, I don't know. They just rebuilt it for adult pool parties. Yeah, so So yeah, man. So y'all know I don't want to say I'm Mr. Las Vegas, but I've been going to Las Vegas since I was a kid. Like, you know how some kids like were going to Disney or Universal when they were kids. My grandmama, rest her soul, I was talking to my mom about this. She used to take me to Vegas because back then when I was young, Vegas was very kid friendly. And I remember the very first time I went to Vegas, we stayed at Excalibur, and as a kid, walking up as a kid and seeing this big ass castle, and as we're going in, you hear "Welcome to Excalibur." My eyes was just like, "What is this? What is this?" Oh my! I loved it, right? I just loved it. And downstairs at Excalibur, they had the arcade and the Magic Motion Machine, and then Circus back in the day, and MGM Grand had Adventure Island. You know what I'm saying? So they had all sorts of stuff for kids. So since I was a kid, I have always loved Vegas. And honestly, I was supposed to go to UNLV. I was going to go to UNLV and play basketball there, but things kind of got messed up, so I didn't go to UNLV. But that was my dream school I always wanted to go play for, was UNLV. And then it's funny, I was talking to my mama this morning, and she was like, Vegas for me, like, even though I talk about the parties and stuff, like normally when I go, y'all, I really don't party much. Like, now, of course, I gamble. I'll sit in a sports book all damn night, right? But it's like I don't party as much as anymore unless I'm like with my brother or when I'm with the, a bunch of people or a group, and I was like, all right, let's go hit the club, right? But when it's like me and I do boxing stuff, I'm just kind of chilling, right? But for me, y'all, Vegas has always just been a reset. Like, sometimes like when I'm kind of in a rut and just can't get that extra motivation, just a quick weekend in Vegas to be around the people, be around the energy, be around, it just wakes me up and remotivates me, like it recalibrates me or something. It's like therapeutic for me from some standpoint. So the network that I've built out there from meeting NBA, I met, that's how me and Dez became like this, was I was in Vegas. I was in Aria, staying in Aria for the draft, and Dez happened to be downstairs, and I went downstairs, and it was Dez and Trayvon. Went over and talked to Trayvon and Dez for a little bit, and that's how me and Dez started partnering. You know what I'm saying? So if I would have never like been to Vegas, it's just all about the relationships that you build in the network. I met so many incredible like sports bettors who taught me the game, from Billy Waters to Little go on and on. That's taught me the game when it comes to sports betting. Now I'm able to sit back and place bets and make thousands of dollars and stuff, off of sports. So it's like, it's just all about the network that you get in Vegas, man. I love it. I come alive in Vegas, and like I don't have to do much. Like my brother will tell you, like we'll go out one night, because we went that was the last tank fight in Vegas, right? Me and DMV went out there. My brother met me out there. We went out Friday night, went to the club, went kind of crazy, right? And then Saturday went to the fight. But after that, like fight night, when everyone was going out to the club, I was like, I'm going back to the room, bro. Like I'll go to my room. Order some Subway. There's a little spot also in MGM. They know me by name, so I'll have them like send me some wings. I'll go to my room, hop on my TV, turn on YouTube, and see what Dallas Cowboys content creators are talking about while I'm eating wings in Las Vegas, just chilling, being peaceful. Or I'll go sit by the pool and read a book or stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to be turned up. I've turned up in Vegas a lot, you know what I'm saying? Back in my prime, y'all, because my ex-girlfriend used to live out in Vegas, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I used to be out there a lot, you know what I'm saying? I used to be out there a lot, right? So back then, I used to turn up, but now it's just like, all right, cool, you know what I'm saying? I've every club I've seen it, from Hakkasan to Dre's to Sapphire to, you know what I'm saying? You name it, I've seen it all, I've done it all, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just getting away and vibing out for a little bit. Don't bookmark or clip that. I might be sleeping on the couch tonight, y'all. But so appreciate y'all, man. It's always fun just talking to y'all, man. That's the thing. Like we talk about Cowboy stuff, but we also talk about other stuff, and that's the thing, man. Tucky used to go to poetry. Hey, bro. Now, what's crazy? What is crazy, Fresh? I'll take that back. The one thing I have never, ever, ever, ever done, and I've been to Vegas 1,000 times, I'd never been to downtown Vegas at all. Yeah, we live, Nick. We live. I have never been and hung out down on Fremont. And a lot of people say, yo, you can go to Fremont. You know what I'm saying? But I have never done it. I've been down there, but I just never have done it. So, you know, maybe I might go down there because I know the new hotel that everyone goes to with the outdoors swim up sports brook is out there. But I just never. Well, I take that back. I have been to Fremont, but I wasn't aware if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If I wasn't in my right state of mind to even understand I was in Fremont, I was just in Fremont walking around, but I wasn't even aware of where I was at. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I never just like went down there and just hung out in Fremont at all. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I like being on the strip. Like MGM's my spot, Aria's my spot, Cosmo, hang on, Cosmo. I go to Hotel Paris. But y'all know me, man. I'll go to the MGM or Aria and I will sit in the sports book for hours upon hours and hours, or I'll set the roulette table on hours and hours. But you know, Wet Republic's my spot. Win love like Sapphire. Sapphire is cool, good time. If you ever go in the day, go upstairs at Sapphire. They have a pool up there. You used to go to the Palms back in the day. The Palms used to have a cool little club. I forgot what it was called, the Palms. So yeah, man, it's love Las Vegas. All right, yeah, Fresh, DM in video, man. DM in video of what's going on in Vegas, man. But like I said, November, Cowboys versus Raiders. If you're there, hit me up. I know a lot of people on Twitter are coming to town. Let me know because I want to throw an official CFO party. Now, everybody can't get in. Everybody can't get in. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, oh, tucked in, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's going to be for CFO gang only. So if you look real unfamiliar, you're not going into the VIT with me. General admission. You might got to stand in general admission and meet us there. This will be only for people who I know who's been day one supporters and has really rocked with the community and, you know what I'm saying, like those types of people. So don't think that, oh, I follow Tuck on Facebook, so I'm going to pop up to the V. No, you can meet us there, but we only have about certain members on this list when we get to Vegas, man. So salute to everyone out there. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me as usual. We've been rocking for 2 hours, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's how it goes. But I'm about to go eat, vibe out, go for a walk and get some outside and get some air. So share the content, like the content, CFO gang. Got more videos, film breakdowns, and all that good stuff. So appreciate y'all. The merch store will be updated probably like 2 to 3 more weeks. So my dog DMV is here, right? My dog DMV is here. DMV, tell them about hitting Vegas with your boy. You know what I'm saying? Tell them about hitting Vegas with your boy. They don't believe me, bro. My own community is calling my bluff when it comes to Vegas. DMV will tell y'all. The very first time I met DMV, yeah, now everyone can come through. Yeah, hell no. You know what I'm saying? But the very first time, I never met DMV in person, you know? But he pulled up to my pool party. I mean, he went crazy. You know what I'm saying? He went crazy at the pool party. I probably still have that photo somewhere, DMV. It's somewhere. It's probably somewhere. Let me see. Because I remember DMV pulled to my, it was a Travis Kelce, pool party, something like that. And then, yeah, because I know Aisha came, Ashley Baker came. There was a few. Let me see if I can find it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get DMV. I'm trying to get a cover 3 in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get cover 3 to pull up to Vegas for the Raiders game. We can live stream, go crazy out there. So that's what we working on, man. We working on it. Let me see if I can find that photo from when I first met DMV in Vegas. Landlord at camp, mad chill. And see, that's the thing, bro. When you meet a lot of us content creators, y'all realize we just chill ass dudes. You know what I'm saying? Chill ass dudes and girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we just be chilling, bro. Like, before all this shit, we were men first. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, let me see. I'm gonna go through my Instagram. I know it's in here somewhere, DMV. Hold on. Let me find it. But yeah, I love Vegas, man. It's my spot. Let me see. Draft. Crazy. So that was the draft. We drafted Tyler Smith, right? Vegas draft. Yeah, 2021 Vegas draft. So let me see. Bang. Where's it at? I know it's somewhere. We're getting close. Hold on. I'll find it. But yeah, with the Vegas, and then yeah. So that's yeah. So this was the original picture. You know what I'm saying? Focus. So that's when I met Dez just walking around at Aria. So that's when it all started from there. Met Dez and Aria downstairs at the casino. And then yeah, so there's a hold on. So here was a yeah, there's hold on, let me focus. Come on, focus. So yeah, so there's me and DMV right there in the top corner, right there. You know what I'm saying? And somehow I got drunk and played craps. Because these people, their cabana was next to ours, and they wanted to go play craps, and I wandered off with them and won money at the crap table. I don't even remember how I did it, but I came back with some chips. And the funny thing was about that whole story, I told you guys the story, right? So I was on the radio station, focus. I was on the radio station doing the NFL draft coverage for the Chiefs here, right? And I had told the station, listen, Thursday, anything you guys need me to do for the coverage of the draft, I got you, right? Let me know. Nonstop, around the clock coverage for the radio station. I'm your man. I'm the man for the job, right? So Thursday is draft night. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing all the segments. I'm doing all the draft stuff, doing what I do best, right? But I told them clearly, Friday, I'm going to a pool party. I am chilling and enjoying my time in Vegas, and I will not be doing any draft coverage, right? Okay, yeah, we understand that. You know, we want you to enjoy yourself. Okay, cool. Just letting you know, Friday, I am not doing zero draft coverage. I'm going to a pool party. I got cabanas. We got a tab, almost $10,000. Like, it's just, I am not doing no work, right? Get to the Wynn Encore Beach Club, having a good time. We're partying, drinking and stuff, right? Having fun. All my friends are pulling up. We're all pulled up outside at the Encore, right? Well, then my phone starts blowing up, right? And I'm like, who was calling me? It's the director from the radio station. And they're like, hey, we need you to come on the air to talk about the Chiefs draft. And I'm like, I told y'all I wasn't doing no coverage. And I was like, oh, we got this expectation that you were going to do the coverage for the full weekend, this, that. And by this time, y'all, I'm probably on bottle number 3, margarita number 6. Like, your boy is completely out of it, right? And my best friend, Suta Cole, he was like, bro, just do the job. And I was like, dog, like, I'm out of it. So he takes me inside in the hotel lobby. He gives me like 3 bottled waters. I'm sitting down on the floor, wet from being outside. And I'm literally on the phone like this. And I did a 2-hour draft show live on the air, completely out of it. And I don't know how I did it. Maybe it was just all the studying and research that I'd done. But it was just like, Boom. Trent McDuffie. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. He's giving me another water. Yeah, I need 2 more waters. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. George Karlaftis. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like doing this whole 2-hour radio show covering the draft out of my mind outside the Encore Beach Club. You know what I'm saying? And I was just putting in work. You know what I'm saying? And after that, I said, listen, don't ever do that again. You know what I'm saying? Because no. All right. And Darnell, super chat, what are the dates for Oxnard, bro? I don't know officially. Typically, it's like at the end of July for Oxnard. Not official yet. I don't know. So that can always change, especially around another new coaching staff. But typically, it'll start to probably be like around July 20-ish, something like that, right? Will I be at Oxnard? I do not know. As of now, I would probably say no. You know, because honestly, I really don't find going to camp as useful as it used to be. You know, so we'll see. But as of right now, I probably won't be at Oxnard. I'd rather just go to games and spend that time doing something else. So, yo, appreciate y'all. I'm at the jump, man. Wife's texting me. Got to get back to work and do some other stuff, man. So appreciate y'all. More live shows. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the content, like the content. And I appreciate everything you guys do, CFO gang. So I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go